Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode with I Trek. We are definitely back in the building with a handful of interesting and creepy TikToks for us to go ahead and evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into it.
Hey, for anyone going to the grocery store. Yes, even natural health food stores. Next time you're in the produce aisle, please be on the lookout for this label. And whatever you do, do not go near it. Appeal, or Edappeal, is a World Economic Forum and Bill Gates funded product that is being sprayed on fruits and vegetables, which are on the verge of spoiling, so that they appear fresh and last longer. Even more frightening is the fact that Appeal has been approved for use on USDA organic produce under the name Organappeal. The main ingredient found in the Appeal coating is mono and diglycerides, which are extracted from grapeseed oil. This is then processed with the use of two solvents, which are ethyl acetate and heptane, both of which are hazardous chemicals known to seriously damage internal organs.
I've heard so much about these fruits, it's good to actually put a name to it.
7 years ago, Pete Davidson said this about Drake.
Best actor of all time. The sweetest guy ever. He gave us all OVO jackets.
Is that really true?
Yeah, he got us all SNL OVO Roots jackets.
Pete Davidson and Pete Rosenberg explained that Drake's public persona is a complete act.
He's been acting as a dope rapper for fucking 7 years. He's the best actor of all time.
I say the same thing. It sounds like an insult, but it's not. It's not.
It's not. He's dope. He's dope.
He happens to be good.
But
the part he's playing is not him.
Yeah, that's not him at all.
Pete Rosenberg explains how Drake has a similar background as him, and therefore he knows him.
All you have to do is meet someone who's like you and know, like, I know you.
Right.
I know you.
Right.
Suburban Jewish rap-loving kid.
How are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I know you. You're a Canadian.
Yeah.
You're I'm Maryland. You're Toronto, but I know who you are.
Yeah.
One of the comments said this aged like fine wine.
He's just
It's performance art.
He's the sickest. I can't. It's so hard to explain, and I'm so glad you get it. The best actor ever.
What do you guys think? Are they talking nonsense or do they have a point?
I mean, if they were going to try to tear Drake down, they should have did that in the beginning of his career. I mean, the man has actually made $1 billion off of rapping, so it's too late.
Shalemi said about God.
Thinking that people that can behave like incredible human beings are without the help of a God.
Miscarriages is the art of understanding other people based on their facial features. It doesn't predict the future, but our faces are a map that tells us what we've been through. No, but I can tell you what somebody's been through and where are they today. So our faces actually tell us, or tell other people how to interact with us, and other people's faces tell us how to interact with them as well. People ask all the time, ooh, can you tell me who's a liar and who's a cheater? No, but I can tell you what somebody's been through and where are they today. It doesn't predict the future, but our faces are a map that tells us what we've been through. So what we're born with is genetics, but what we experience over time changes us, and we'll talk about that in a minute. What's this based on? I did not come up with this. This has been around since the Greeks. It's known as physiognomy. Physiognomy is the art of understanding other people based on their facial features. And you're thinking, okay, well, wait, aren't we born this way?
Is it true that Diddy has to pay you $2,000 a day because he didn't ask permission to sample every breath you take?
Yeah, for the rest of his life.
Let's break that down. Diddy pays Sting $2,000 a day for sampling every breath you take without his permission. That's a $730,000 a year mistake. I'll Be Missing You is the song that Diddy sampled 8 years ago. That means the grand total is up to $5.9 million as of today. What's funny is Elton John was the one who discovered this and told Sting that he was going to make millions of dollars off of Diddy. But this isn't the only time that Sting has made an ungodly amount of money from someone stealing his work. Juice WRLD's biggest hit, Lucid Dreams, was also a sampled Sting song, Shape of My Heart. Even though Juice had no idea and it was his producer who stole the sample, Sting owns 85% of Lucid Dreams. That song sold more than 10 million units. Sting said I'll Be Missing You by Diddy put his 6 kids through college, but Juice WRLD's Lucid Dreams will put his grandkids through college.
Let's talk about hitting a lotto.
These are the scariest effects of psychedelics. Ego death. Your thoughts, emotions, your sense of self, and even your ability to feel time passing completely disappear. Although it's normally followed by a transcendent experience, it's so intense a lot of people who go through this actually believe they're dying. Entity encounters. It's no secret that most entity encounters on psychedelics are positive, but when they're not, they can be absolutely terrifying. People have reported sensing pure evil emanating from dark entities and the space they reside in. These entities sometimes share terrifying messages or show you horrific images in order to trick you into being afraid portrayed, which is why they're often interpreted as demons or even the devil itself. The Truman Show effect. The Truman Show effect is where you wake up and realize there's been an invisible audience watching you your whole life. And if you go through this while a friend is next to you, they won't feel like your friend anymore, but some kind of alien actor that's been playing the character of your friend all along. A common message that is heard during this effect is that the person tripping and everyone around them is actually the same being pretending to be different people. It's often described as feeling like you're removing a VR headset and remembering that your whole life was just a game. Now, this effect can actually be liberating and even enjoyable, but I've heard of many people freaking out even after the trip's over because they feel like their sober reality isn't real.
Satan is you. It's the part of your mind that wants the fame, the money, the status, and the power. That is Satan. It's an aspect of your mind. God is the higher mind that wants the love, the intuition, the wisdom, the knowledge. That is God. Demons are your emotions that possess your body, your mind. That's what a demon is. It's all metaphorical for you, the battle between your mind and your body. You need to sync your mind and your body so that you can live in harmony, which is heaven. It's all metaphors, and until you realize this, you will continue to blame the devil to bringing negativity in your life. You manifested the negativity in your life. You are a result of your thoughts. Where you are in life is a direct manifestation of all the thoughts you have thought in the past. They don't want you to realize this because it's a slave system. You are a slave.
He's usually definitely giving you something to marinate on.
It was 33 years before 9/11 hit. They basically released the police code for homicide and emergency as 9/11. So 33 years before 9/11 actually happened, the police code turned to 9/11. I think it was 68.
And the head sheriff of every police force is a 33-degree Freemason.
Most. George Washington started the American Revolution. George Floyd started the Black Lives Matter Revolution. They like using the capital G, the capital is the 33rd. No, but if they capitalize it, it's the 33rd letter. So
right.
G, so you understand? That's why they always use a guy named George to start revolutions. See how that works? It's always hidden. You just gotta know where to look, people.
And he went to a certain lodge and he had a tattoo on his chest that said order out of chaos.
Correct.
And it was the twin-headed eagle, the points left and right, the Masonic eagle. Or excuse me, east of mine.
He died at 33 years old. Do you know why? Because the number is more important than the man. That's why he's the most influential man in the world. Because they made sure to associate him with that number.
Do not move to Florida. There's water moccasins everywhere, snakes, alligators, tornadoes, sharks, hurricanes, heat, humidity, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, red ants. Don't move to Florida. It's horrible.
I've never heard a list so thorough, and I can tell she means it too.
They're loose assets for families. Like, these are guard dogs on estates. Like, that's literally, there was a training program I had to go to when I was 9 years old, and we'd go up to this farm in Michigan that was in the family, my dad's cousin, and they train all of these police, military, law enforcement, and VIP protection dogs, you know, but then they have other cages that are man-sized cages for other stuff, because that gets brought in by the families, you know. And it's like, some of these are people that are just beasts, like physically people that are like not like the rest of us, strength-wise, speed-wise, power-wise, intelligence-wise. And then others of them are just unrecognizable as anything related to man.
Their ability, the strength, intelligence, is that something that is brought on through ritual, or is it brought on through like medical injections? I've heard stories of military injecting, they essentially become a super soldier.
Depends on who's got high tech and who's got the old tech. You know, and the old tech is generally superior. The new tech has side effects. You know, when people are getting injections and are using recombinant DNA to start augmenting stuff, there's other variables that are unpredictable, you know, whereas if you just use a different spirit, you can predict what it's going to be. When a skinwalker kills, that's what you have to go through, man. I'm 9 years old and I had to stinking somebody with my hands, a friend, a person that I love, because my family was not somebody I loved. And so part of in order to be inhabited by these spirits that will shapeshift you and allow you to become a different creature, you're going to somebody that you love, and you're going to with your bare hands, you're going to breathe in their life as they die.
That has got to be cap. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments.
been killing me with the comments on the video that this comment is coming from. But one of them is, I didn't have to cut the squash up. I could have just put it in a glass of water. So that's exactly what I did when I found a tomato with a hole in it today. And what is coming out of it? I picked this tomato from my garden today. I brought it inside. I put it in a glass of water like you guys told me. What are those? What are these wormy maggot creatures coming out of my homegrown tomato right now? Y'all, I want to throw up. I'm glad that I saw the hole in the tomato and put it in the glass of water, because I never would have known. Unless maybe I would have seen it when I cut it open, who knows? But there are tons of them and they just kept coming out. And they're moving and I don't even know what to say. I mean, I guess they speak for themselves because they just keep flying out of this tomato and wiggling on the bottom of this glass jar. So if anybody knows what they are and would like to fill me in and share with the class, because I feel like this experiment in my garden that's been going on this year is just, I don't even know, but I'm literally now afraid to eat anything that's coming out of the garden. Or honestly, I'm afraid to eat anything ever now, because this isn't just my garden. This is all food everywhere. They always have things in them, which just freaks me out.
She definitely can't be scared of a little extra protein now.
People are having miscarriages right now, an issue having kids. You recommended them to have sex on the 5th of every month.
Correct. 5th, 14th, 1 and 4 is 5, 23rd, 2 and 3 is 5. And 5 deals with sexual energy. And when you have sex under the right energy, it helps out.
I know so many people with miscarriages right now, dude. It's crazy.
Can't help everyone. And if you try to help everyone, you're gonna get burned. Do you ever try to help people and then all of a sudden you get burned?
Yeah.
So sometimes when you try to stick your nose into a business where a young soul has to evolve itself and you try to push them forward, sometimes, you get burned for doing it.
They're not ready, right?
No, they're just not ready. You're a 33 life path. You know damn well you try to help so many people. And how many times you get burned, brother?
Almost every time.
3 meals a day keeps you in your lower 3 energy centers. Why do you think they're all red, orange, and yellow? Because they're keeping you stuck in your lower 3 energy centers. These energy centers are literally mini brains. You are thinking with them. Just because you are hungry does not mean that you should be eating. You are being impulsive and living in the lower brains. Your body parts are alive. They have consciousness. You can think with them. Stop thinking with your penis or your gut and raise to the higher consciousness in the brain and the heart. Head is heaven, earth is heart, and the heel is hell. They are states of consciousness, not physical places. Neo from the Matrix is named after the neocortex in the brain, the higher brain, because he awakened from the lower self. Jesus and Satan do not exist. They externalize the battle between your higher mind and lower mind, the devil and the angel on your shoulder. It's an internal battle. That's why the devil has goat horns for a ground animal, and the angel has wings for an air animal. Higher self, lower self. Moses never went on a mountain to meet God. It's an allegory for raising your consciousness to a higher level, the mountain. That's why the Bible says we'll be taken into the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. It's talking about raising your consciousness. There is no man in the sky going to save you. God is within yourself.
Tá doido, cara. Caraca, é muito forte, maluco. Puta que pariu. Tá doido, é muita força, maluco. Caralho, é de arrepiar aqui. Caraca, maluco. Aê!
I mean, that dog was being so specific, it seems like he might need to demo that wall or do something, because obviously there's something there.
I mean, obviously there are special effects, but obviously they can't do the special effects unless you
just
do
a couple.
Unless you do the.
It's mostly just me.
Well, it is. It's mostly right.
Yeah, I do all my own stunts. You know what I mean? People pay a lot of money to come to the theater. They want to know what I'm doing inside, you know?
There are thousands of spiders on my boat. Thousands. They're everywhere. And I've made a truce with the spider world. I have told the spiders, I will not crush you or harm you if you don't bite me. And I've never been bit by a spider like in 38 years out, you know, on a boat. This is all a guy needs, right?
Right.
I got a guest bunk. This is it, man. Rent free. Oh! Hey, we're winning. How can we give up such a view? We got a multi-million-dollar view, man. They want us to leave? No way. Trust nobody but God.
I had no clue all I needed to do was make a truce with spiders, or any other insect for that fact of the matter. That's pretty dope.
Feel well. Obviously, things have gone from bad to worse. This condition has gotten significantly worse, and I don't quite know what to do. I'm absolutely at a loss, and I'm reaching a point of desperation. I cannot get out of here. I get behind the wheel of my truck that is attached to this camper, and I try to drive away, and I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to move the vehicle. I don't know the symbols. I literally stare at it like I have no idea how to use this truck. I look at my phone. My phone has names and numbers, but they're all gibberish. It's like weird symbols and signs, and they make no sense. And I don't know how, the numbers on the dial to call. I can't remember any names or numbers. I'm just literally, I'm stuck in this valley walking around, and I don't know what and how to get out of here. The only positive thing is that I've noticed that this condition comes and goes. I've got some days where the scarring seems to be much less, and I've got a bit of more accurate thinking, meaning I can decipher some things. I still can't recognize anything on my phone, but I feel like I get memories back when the condition lessens. And when it's stronger the way it is now today, I don't know anything. I know how to control this. I know how to record this, but I don't know how to reach out to anybody. I don't know how to communicate, make contact to anybody. So my hope is that this will potentially subside a little bit so that I can at least kind of translate the names and numbers on my phone and reach out to help, or at least drive myself the hell out of here. So that's where I am. Hopefully things will get better.
On behalf of Amy, I'd like to thank the devil and all the dark lords who
Don't do the devil stuff.
gave her this award
Don't do
and
the devil stuff.
allowed her to feast on the flesh of the innocent.
Thanks, everybody.
When I was a kid, I said, if you dug a hole from the United States, where would you come out on the other side? And everyone says, dig a hole all the way to China.
Right. That's always the case.
However, China is not where you will land if you dig a hole through the center of the earth. Because if you dig a hole through the center and you start in the northern hemisphere, you have to end up in the
southern hemisphere.
If you start in the western hemisphere, you got to end up in the
eastern hemisphere.
That's how the geometry works.
Exactly, because it's a ball.
It's a ball.
Right.
All right. So when I did the measurements on that, if you dug that hole from the United States, you would end up in the Indian Ocean.
You just flood the United States.
Yeah,
that's
water
really
will
what
come
you
through.
did. You pop through, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, Lord, what have I done?
The world seems upside down, where people are living in the streets hoping that they will survive the winter in the richest country in the world, and where people working full-time for huge profitable corporations still have to get food stamps. And we have billionaires who, while competing for who can get their little rockets a tiny ways into space, or who has the biggest mega yacht, don't think they should pay taxes. While we rain down on children and call it collateral damage or self-defense, it's enough for you to give up on the world.
People are actually starting to wake up and see what's going on in the world, and especially the people with the platform to speak on it.
To plead guilty to a criminal fraud conspiracy charge and to pay a fine of $243.6 million. The fine and guilty plea are to resolve a U.S. investigation into Boeing after they violated a deal set to improve their aircrafts before 2 fatal plane crashes killed 346 passengers and crew 5 years ago. The families of the victims have criticized this plea as a sweetheart deal, allowing Boeing to ditch responsibility and avoid a criminal trial. The settlement must now be approved by a U.S. judge. Boeing's guilty plea is a significant black mark as the company now have a criminal record.
Oddly enough, that actually looked like a baby dragon, and it didn't look like CGI either. But let me know what you think.
What is it? What the actual hell is this? Please, dear God, someone tell me what this is. Do you see shadow people or dark images out of the side of your eye or moving across the room? Well, there's nothing wrong with that, except you need to ask who they are. A lot of people will mistake them as ghosts or people that are haunting them or ancestors or things like that. And it could be any of that cadre of things. But the most important thing is ask who they are. What bothers me the most is people don't empower themselves by asking and talking to them. Because by talking, you take your power. By going, I'm afraid of that, you lose your power. Because you're on Earth and you're in charge of your Earth space. Therefore, you can command them out of your space and they have to reply to you. But if you just go, oh, I'm afraid, then they have dominion over your being. You know what I mean? It means that they have the right to be in charge. So I never let anything be in charge. I go, excuse me, who are you over there? Why are you here? What do you want me to know? Do you work for the light or the dark? Those questions will help you know who it is, because it may be an extraterrestrial being. It may be an entity from the other side, and it could be Aunt Claude or Martha, and they just don't have enough energy to be a sparkler for them. But always ask, because that's where your power is. And then you can't say, well, it attached to me, it attacked me, it did all this. They can't do anything as long as you're in charge. So ask who they are, why they're here, what they want you to know, and do they work for the dark or the light? And that way you're in charge, you're in power, and then you can decide what to do with them. To banish them, ask them to visit more often, or to show up. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
But most people are not trying to talk to a shadow that they seen out the corner of their eye. That's just what it is.
This is why we don't keep random Ouija boards that we find. Apparently, this guy was just hanging out in a cemetery, I don't know why, and sees this Ouija board on the ground and decides, hey, let's touch that. And so he picks it up and he decides, you know what, I'm going to take this home. See, here he is. He has put it in a bag to take it home, but he's taking it out to show on the back. There's like a pentagram drawn on there with what looks like spray paint. I don't know. And it looks like there's a little blood on the front. But yeah, he takes this thing home. And here's night 1 after he takes the Ouija board home.
Escuchen, escuchen, escuchen. Esos son los sonidos que le hablé. Justo de madrugada, escuchen. Nadie me va a decir que esos son gatos. Escuchen. Son pasos. Son pasos. Ok.
Do we think this is an orb of whatever spirit is hanging around here, or do we think that this was just dust? Let me know what you think in the comments about this, but it keeps going. Hold on.
¿Quién anda ahí? Ok. Está la puerta abierta. ¡Ey! ¿Quién está ahí? Ok. Voy a buscar la picana. ¿Qué? ¿Quién anda ahí? ¿Qué mierda? ¿Qué mierda? ¿Quién anda ahí?
So, footsteps, door opening, Ouija board gets knocked on the floor, whatever else is happening, and now we're gonna go on to night number 2.
¿Qué pasa? ¡Hey! ¿Hay alguien ahí? Otra vez la mujer de negro. Mierda. Otra vez lo mismo.
Night number 3 is the worst and the weirdest. Like, wait till you see, like, what is this? You need to let me know what you think. What do you think? What did this guy bring home, man? Don't take Ouija boards home from the cemetery.
Mire. ¿Qué quiere? ¿Qué quiere? Está la sal. No puede pasar porque está la sal. No puede pasar porque está la sal. ¡Hey! Quiere entrar. Está la sal. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué quiere? ¿Qué mierda es eso? ¿Qué mierda es eso? Miren la sal. ¿Qué mierda es eso? ¿Qué mierda es eso? Cortó la luz. ¿Qué es eso? Mierda es esa. Luz. ¿Qué mierda es esa?
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.